Hello and welcome to the show. It's Rose-Colored Classist, your Middle Eastern immigrants' favorite topical news comedy podcast. Excited to do this show tonight. Not sure how long I'll be able to go tonight. I am expecting a few 18-year-old Moroccans to come into my apartment. Yeah, I'm expecting military-age Moroccans to come knock on my door. Gonna more knock on my door. Hey guys, what does a half African, half Spanish cow say? Morocco. Right on. This is very exciting to me right now. When the news involves a word that I can make endless puns off of, it's an exciting time. Very happy. What else do I have to live for? Honestly. Moroccan, it's a great word. Sounds like a lot of other words. This is a great comedy opportunity. Which is really all I want out of the news. It's all I don't ever really think I'm going to be genuinely informed. I mean, doubtful I'll ever know the true motives and reasons for actions in this globalized society. But if I can make some puns, I think everything will be all right. Everything will be fine. Right on. I can't help it. We're going to play the footage. We're going to play the footage of these guys crossing the border. And if you listen very carefully, you'll hear what they're all about.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Save him.
Oh, geez, stick to the plane.
Oh Jesus, let's go.
Stick to the plan, Shove.
Stick to the plane.
Oh gee, oh fuck.
Give me divine intervention.
Hurry up.
Shout. He's saying I can't cast. I can't move. Am I lagging, guys?
I can't move. What the hell? I can't aim. Oh my god.
Oh, just keep saying cast. More responding.
I don't think you can cast with that shit.
Oh my god. Shout. We got it off. I got it. Take it off.
Come on, stay down.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Leroy.
God damn it.
Leroy, you moron. Leroy.
Jimmy.
This is ridiculous.
So mass.
Right on. Some old California internet humor for you. Yeah, I mean, look at them. Look at them. They don't care. They're coming. I mean, guys, they call them Moroccans, not Moroccans. Hold on. I think I see Robert Rodriguez in that fucking footage. Yeah, ready, set, Morocco. They're running. Can't stop these guys. Can't stop them. No way, no how. Yeah, we're all gonna have to Morocco with the Morocco flow on this one. Yeah, they're all on the border's edge, standing on their Morocco toes. That one's not good, really. Right? I mean, looking at this, anyone who said immigration was a good thing, it seems like they're gonna have to eat Morocco crow. All the Spanish citizens, they're like, Morocco, no. Morocco, yo, this is crazy. Yeah, man, the Spanish government kind of reacting a little Morocco slow. Okay, these jokes are getting a little Morocco low. Morocco, oh, yeah, Morocco. I think we need less Akko. Right on. Yeah, that's a recycled joke if you're a return listener to my podcast. And actually, per my podcast analytics, that is impossible. So, hey, brand new joke just for you. Yeah, man. Seriously, though, if you are a return listener, which YouTube does tell me you don't exist, I did use that joke before. The previous joke was Mossad. I think we need less Sod. Which brings me to the conspiracies. The Jeffrey Epstein-style conspiracies. The conspiracies that make the podcasting world go round. Yeah, it's the conspiracies where we blame Israel for what's happening. It's where we blame the American federal government for what's happening. Yeah, the conspiracies where we blame the federal government, which is controlled by Israel. Yeah, I will talk about the fucking pandemic. I will do it. All right, but first, importantly, just gotta say it. Someone's gotta do it. The Moroccans are being paid by America and Israel to invade Spanish territory. Allegedly, that's what they're doing. It's a personal opinion I have, which I have no evidence for. Really, I'm actually just repeating other people who I've heard say that. And while I am echoing it, I can back off at any time. I can back off this topic at any time. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Don't kill me or my family. Seriously. I mean that. Like, yeah, I mean, I may back off entirely because really what's crazy about what's happening is if, you know, America and Israel are paying the Moroccans to go and cross the border and invade, it's actually not a terrible idea. Not a terrible idea. I mean, attacking Iran, that was a terrible idea. The worst idea possible. The cost too great. They're fucking killing me. Nuclear war would have been a better option than what the Iran war is doing to the economy. I mean that too. But sending in the immigrants to go and control the most important ports in the world, now that's a good idea. Now, what am I trying to say? I would like to hand the ball off to my favorite conspiracy theorist. It's a guy whose content is hot fire for me. It's like a cheesecake. I love it. Can't stop eating it. Goes straight to my tits. It's Professor Zhang. Yeah, I've played him before. He's very famous. Everybody knows him. He's not as famous as Fauci, but yeah, he's a Chinese propagandist. He says he's not, but whatever. Yeah, he says he's not, but I don't really. Right on. No, he's the king from Beijing. He's the game theory gambler. Gambler. He puts the dick in predictive. Also maybe the pre. He's the Substack quack. Unfortunately, not a doctor. At least that's what his parents say. It's Professor Zhang.
Going back to this map, it will strangle China, okay? Greenland is meant to block access into Europe, okay? And once you have these 3 choke points in place, the Strait of Malacca, the Strait of Gibraltar, and the Arctic route, the Chinese are completely blocked from Europe, okay? And this, again, is all part of the National Defense Strategy. And guys, it's a very short document. It's only about 33 pages, okay? So you can go on, you can go to the Department of War website, and you can download this for yourself. And it's really important that you read this because it lays out very clearly what the American plan is moving forward, okay? One major aspect of the National Defense Strategy is to keep critical sea lanes open, okay? And how do you do that? Well, you take over them, right? You maintain control over these maritime choke points like the Strait of Gibraltar, Strait of Malacca, and the Arctic route in order to maintain peace and prosperity in the world, okay? So this is double speak, right?
Right on. America's plan to control the sea lanes. Free trade. Free trade. Yeah, the Strait of Gibraltar is where the Moroccan citizens are invading Spanish territory. We'll get to it. But first, I guess I do want to reiterate that I do believe Professor Zhang is a Chinese propagandist, or at worst, a Canadian one. But as with Chinese propaganda, it's important to listen to it because, I mean, hey, they let you in on America's real plans for the world. That's what we really need. I swear, if our leaders were more outright with it, they'd probably get a little more support. All right? I mean, sure. I mean, China's not to be trusted. I'm sure they have their own Jeffrey Epsteinology over there. I'm sure it's got its own great ultra wealthy dead pedophiles. But China, commenting on what our dead pedophiles are doing, it's a nice perspective. It's a nice one. Even if its goal is to make me a communist slave, where yes, I'll never know the truth, but at least I'll be happy. All right, back to it. There are real geopolitical reasons this is happening. This is like some classic world domination stuff. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice because what's nice about it is it makes sense to do it. Unlike fighting a war with Iran. Right on. So, okay, yeah, these guys, they're invading the border. They're going over, 60,000 of them. They're fucking, Moroccan in the free world. Yeah, it's not over. More jokes. No, I'm on a Moroccan roll all night with these bad puns. Don't stop me. Bottom of the barrel American humor right here. I'm gonna tell you what's going on, but please, if you want me to stop these puns, you can suck my Morrock Oh, whoa. You're right. This is stupid. It's a comedy podcast. What am I doing? I got a Morrock on it. Is that good? Moroccan. Okay, right. This strategy, this military strategy that they're doing, it's a good strategy. These guys, they're not Morocco local. All right. Well, when does comedy get embarrassing? But okay, yeah. So as to our big, great understanding of the world, we got our Epstein files. Got the knowledge of the incoming worldwide energy, economic devastation, all that historical precedence. We can figure out what's really happening, all right? Because the news, the media, your favorite Jeffrey Epstein acolyte. What they'll do is they'll focus on the optics of this event, like what it seems like it's happening, what reasons it could be. They'll throw out anything, but they won't discuss is how the event could benefit certain people and parties. All right. So big military concept here. What's going on? It's all about the Strait of Gibraltar. Gibraltar. Just learn that. Just learn what that was. Gibraltar. Who named that? Don't know him. What ethnicity is that even? Right? And basically what's going on is Spain has a lot of control over it. Has the most control over it, at least, compared to Morocco, which is the other state or nation that is on the other side. And truth be told, come on, Spain, they've been an ungrateful NATO ally. They've been ungrateful. They've been ungrateful to the big pizza party going on. All right. And again, unfortunately, whether they know it or not, they're in charge of the Strait of Gibraltar. And America, if you hadn't noticed, is really focused on Straits right now. They're really obsessed with the Straits. They got the Strait of Hormuz, the Strait of Malacca. They got that Bab al-Mandeb Strait. Did I say that right? I wrote it down. Better have. Why are they so obsessed with Straits? These guys. Really, is this all a reaction to the gay trans agenda? Are they just obsessed about Straits and just want to control the Strait they got? Don't get me started on the Suez Canal. had to go there for that joke. The straight talk is hack, but Canal? Come on, I had to get there. Right on. No, I've decided to do the comedy news today by explaining my jokes. Whatever. Right on. So let's make this clear. Is that America, Israel, they're going big. We're going real big. Cat's out of the bag. We're doing an obvious tactic. All right. Now let's not forget, Spain specifically had a dictator for like a really long time. Spain's been important for like a really long time. They had a dictator for like 50 years. I guess it wasn't that bad for them. You don't hear them complain about it enough for it to have been that bad. But they had a dictator, and what was he? You say it. Say it with me. He was favorable to the United States. Spain has always been a hot spot. Okay? Ask my ancestors. Supposedly, I have relatives over there. No, don't touch my blood. I don't want to find out. But right, in recent history, let's just face it, it is of imperial importance. That Strait of Gibraltar, it is important for that thing to be operating, for that thing not to go fucking sideways. All right, the Strait of Gibraltar better not turn gay. That motherfucker needs to be open. That strait needs to be open like they're gay. Do not put a butt plug in the strait. Right on. I should write bad t-shirts. Okay. You think podcast is an oversaturated market? No, my point is to suggest the utmost importance that this fucking thing stays open. All right. Look what's going on. The Gulf shut down. Red Sea go bye-bye. No more Red Sea. Red Sea go bye-bye. All right. And all we got left is the fucking, Suez Canal in Egypt and this Gibraltar bitch. All right. And Professor Zhang, he showed you that fucking map. All right. We don't got nowhere left to go. China don't got nowhere left to go. Europe doesn't, China doesn't, Russia doesn't. It's fucking real important. Yeah, and America's pushing it. America, the only country that could ever possibly do it. We're trying to take control of these waterways. And we're using poor Moroccan males to do it. All right? Maybe a few clandestine agents. Maybe. Probably just some dirty Chinese guys are going in. There's like a Chinese guy wearing blackface and he's just swimming. He's wearing Moroccan blackface. sort of like a coffee milk color. No, it's Mossad. Mossad is going into Spain with the migrants. They look so similar, it would be impossible to tell. I don't know if you know this, but Jewish people, they look like every race. It's actually incredible. Especially the Ethiopian Jews. Are there Ethiopian Jews in Mossad? That'd be cool. Tell me that's canon. Right on. So get into the actual meat, the real geopolitics, all right? Focusing in on the place where it's actually happening. There's this city, specifically, that the people are mentioning a lot. Quetta. It's called Quetta. I think I'm saying that right. Quetta. Anyway, it does have a particular history, which unfortunately I had to fucking learn. Took a lot of time to learn it. All right. I mean, sure, like I listened to this Chinese Propagandist entire podcast, but I really wish I was paying attention. No, I have to try really hard to pay attention to this fucking guy because I hear an Asian accent, and then I start laughing because it's an Asian accent, and then the info just doesn't stick. It just doesn't stick to me. It's all in an Asian accent. I'm smiling. I'm enjoying it. It's funny. But right on, it just didn't penetrate. So I had to go and fucking learn myself. I had to go get another source or whatever. Right on. Yeah, in the city. Quetta. Cuita. Cuñada. Horchata. It's a city, and if you look at the city on the Google Maps, you go on the Google Maps and you go and you look at Morocco, right? And if you scroll real close to the edge of Morocco, you get real close, and you'll see that Morocco is actually a part of Spain. You look at the whole thing of Morocco, and then you go to this little tip, this little edge, and actually, it's Spain, which is interesting. A little interesting. You look at the territorial waters that Spain controls, that Morocco controls, and it makes the stupidest fucking triangle you've ever seen. Watch the podcast. I'm sure this guy shows it. All right, this there's a whole of Morocco. There's 2 Spanish cities on the edge, which is where all the migrants are going, and because of that, Spain thinks it controls, the Strait of Gibraltar. It's an interesting fact. Makes no sense. Based off that little fucking city, the whole territorial waters. We're learning something. Territorial waters. It's just a bunch of fucking weird triangles, nonsensical geometric shapes, and it's only because Spain controls this little edge of Morocco. And yeah, it's a city. It's been in control of Spain since the Spanish Empire. Wonder what happened to the Spanish Empire. Maybe that's related to the story. We'll get into it, right? And so, it's owned it throughout the history of the Spanish Empire, that time where all those awful things happened, right? Time passes. Britain occupies it. All right, they lose it after World War I. It gets in that little fucking weird state. And then that dictator I mentioned, Franco, which is great name for a dictator, he makes his move. Takes control, civil war, the Republican elected government gets fucking tossed out. Where have we heard that story before? And anyway, what ends up happening is Spain is neutral in World War II. I wonder what that means. Is that an interesting fact? Right on. And this city, Quetta, it's like an ancient city. All right, you got fucking like ancient Ottoman Empire fighting over it. I was talking to somebody about it, and they started mentioning the Phoenicians. I was trying to fucking get educated, talk to my peers, and someone mentioned the Phoenicians. They're like, yeah, they used to trade. The Phoenician trade routes. It's all right there. And I was like, all right, okay, I guess it's an important fucking place. Always has been. And you look at it, there's a renewed fight for it. I mean, getting educated on it, it seems that the U.S. and Israel have for a long time, probably even since, Trump's first presidency, maybe a little bit before that, they've been doing deals with Morocco. They've been making defense pacts, obviously suicide pacts. They do all the things that we do. The things that win. The good old, they do all the American winning stuff. And then you have the professor, like many people, and he goes into how America had this plan of attack for a while. Had it in the tank. Fucking, that the pizza party planners, they've got this one cooking for a minute, okay? And yeah, Iran, Greenland, all these were places that were discussed inside of Jeffrey Epstein's think tank, all right? And now they have all these strategies, and they're pulling them out. They're trying everything. And of course, you see what's been going on in Gaza with the pressure of NATO, the EU, the American moves that have clearly happened in Morocco that I guess a lot of us, were asleep to. Everybody in the EU has been reacting to it. Spain's been struggling. Like a lot of nation states have been struggling because of what's been going on. And they seem to be like a direct fucking opponent. Right? And so what's been happening in this desperate state? The state in a desperate state. The Spain has been going out and talking shit. I mean, it's obvious. It's hard not to talk shit. I mean, Iran is going tits up. Okay, the world economy is being ruined. Don't look at what's happening in South Korea right now. Yeah, my personal favorite Asian place is being completely destroyed. And Spain, they've been yapping about it. They've been talking a lot of shit. They've had a few viral clips, if you didn't clock it. All right, and you know how Spaniards are. Assholes. The Latin fire, it comes from fucking somewhere. Okay, the disdain, the high-mindedness, criticism. Oh, why don't you relax, man? Can I do a Spanish accent? I don't even know what it sounds like. Can you do a Spanish? Okay. Anyway, why don't you relax, man? Is that right? Okay. And whether they knew it or not, again, I mean, they had some real fucking leverage. They were talking a lot of shit, and they had a lot of fucking leverage behind it. And if they try to use it, oh boy, oh man, oh boy. I mean, America it'd be in a lot more trouble than it is already. Yeah. So obviously, we're attacking it. We're sending migrants to disable it, to corrupt it, to sneak in spies. Really, it's an important city. Spain is it's where they enact all the control over the Strait of Gibraltar, and if you throw that into chaos, I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious, right? Now, I'm going to play a second clip of Zhang. It's a big Zhang podcast. I've been kind of liking the deep dive. Last podcast all about Tucker. We're doing a lot of Zhang tonight. It's an interesting way to go about it. So, please, another clip of the fucking guy. What accent is that? Okay, I'm kind of burying the lead. Let's just play the Asian guy, huh?
All right. So let's summarize what we've learned so far. One really important takeaway is we're seeing how the United States and Israel are really joined at the hip, how their policies, their strategies align together. They basically work in unison together. And one clear outcome of what's happening is the creation of Pax Judaica. Okay? So think about the 20th century where Britain and the United States worked together to create Pax Americana, right? Where Britain removed itself from the imperial scene, and then America came to become the empire. And now the same thing is happening where America and the United and Israel are working together to create Pax Judaica. Then you're like, wait, this makes no sense. What are you talking about? Why would Britain surrender its empire to the United States? And why would the United States surrender its empire to Israel? Okay, and the answer is transnational capital. Okay, so you think these places, Britain, United States, Israel, are controlled by the people because they're democracies. No, guys, okay? They're controlled by transnational capital. And transnational capital has this insatiable need for growth, for capital accumulation and consolidation, right? And that's why they do empire. Empire is not something that the people willingly agree to do. It's something that's forced upon them. The problem with empire is that eventually it exhausts the nation state, okay? So transnational capital is a parasite on the nation state. And they force the nation state to engage in empire to expand transnational capital. But eventually at a point, the people just get exhausted. And they're like, we're sick of this crap. In which case, screw this, we're moving somewhere else, okay? So basically, the parasite then basically kills the host, and the host moves somewhere else. And do the Israelis want transnational capital? No. The Israelis are pretty happy being Israelis, but screw them. We're going to impose ourselves on Israel and be a parasite on Israel and turn Israel into Pax Judaica so we can control the world, okay? So think about this where, for the past 20 years, the Middle East has been destroyed. It's all intentional because now that you've destroyed the Middle East, you can now rebuild the Middle East. Okay, and by rebuilding the Middle East, that's how you grow transnational capital, right? Okay, so that's all this. This is the plan, and this is the way that transnational capital behaves. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it's just common sense, man. Okay, just look at history and see how Britain and America have behaved.
Well, that's an explanation for you. Professor, he calls it transnational capital. I call it the pizza party. We all know what it is. Right on. And yeah, I'll admit, somewhat, I've been flippantly accepting that the migrants charging into these very important geopolitical places are being funded and pushed by America and Israel, or, Pax Judaica, as that fake commie teacher says. But, I've been certain to make those statements with certain legal caveats, and it's important to state that. All right. I mean, just look at the situation. I mean, you see them going in. What purpose could it possibly serve? And it makes a lot of sense, right? Because, what's been going on in the Middle East? It's all, what's happening in Spain is related to the Middle East. It's obvious. The whole world is being affected by what's happening in the Middle East with our gas prices. It's not too much crazier to just take the next step. I mean, think about what's been happening in the Middle East, right? So they've been destroying it for 20 fucking years, just ruining it. And what ends up happening? It creates a crisis of immigrants. Also, some dead bodies, some unexploded ordnance. But, when that's your result, how can you take that and channel it into something that is beneficial? Now, the professor, of course, he does his own job breaking it down. But I'm a comedian with a beautiful American accent, so let me try, and maybe even build on it, right? So, understanding Israel's desire for regional dominance, the Saudis, the Emiratis, the Kuwaitis, them just, going along with it because I guess they want to chill. They just want to have a relaxed time and, sell oil, be done with it, let everybody else do the work, right? And then you see how America could greatly financially benefit from this situation, and maybe even already has. And then from that situation, all these immigrants result, right? And in the end, what happens to them? They move to Europe and, in fact, weaken their countries, or at least, preoccupy them with something to do. And really, it's a crazy idea, but it seems to be some sort of kill two birds with one stone strategy. I mean, sure, it agitates those countries, perhaps, marginally turns them against you. But I guess the idea, the immigrants move, and then they go and you channel them into countries that could maybe, take up your own game, right? This is the Professor Zhang game theory at work, okay? I guess the idea is you gather power for yourself by, directly attacking a place and having the consequences hurt other places. And then because of your newfound wealth, you dominate those places, right? I mean, it's so obvious, as Europe becomes more diminished, they have to rely more on the fucking, Chinese PAC-J or whatever. Because even if they're weakened, right, in the end, it's better for, I would like to say us, but, America and the big I, it's better because they get a bigger piece of that pie, even if it's smaller overall. I mean, you talk about immigration and how it, weakens the workers' leverage in an economy. I mean, that idea is like the tip of the iceberg. All right? I mean, above all, what it does is, test the fucking society's morals, values, and real availability of resources. I mean, the damage that the immigrants do to the social safety nets. I mean, people don't even believe in them. Therefore, you get more money for the war or, whatever development that they're working on. I mean, sure, I wish society was structured in a way to process individual immigrants. I wish that. I mean, perhaps intentionally it's not. Cities aren't made, to fucking deal with 45,000 fucking people at once. But overall, I mean, you look at it, this is like some sweet, sweet Machiavellian geopolitics. I mean, these tactics, they've been used in the past. Gotta read. Gotta look at history. I mean, everybody knows about the fucking stereotype of inciting the native population. Okay, the natives are restless. That shit. I mean, this is what happens in Africa. I think you have heard about it. Yeah, all the time. Even, the history of America with the Native Americans. All right, small populations. They get rabble-roused into doing some fucking particular action. And they think that it benefits them, but really what it does is serve some greater purpose. I mean, watch Lord of the Rings. This is obvious. You'll get it. And of course, I mean, in this situation, America is doing the shitty thing, but at least it makes sense, right? Like a strict power game. I mean, it's so obvious. The immigrants are a weapon, all right? And if they are, why wouldn't you use them as one? Right? You have them. They're there from the war. Why not just continue their operation? They may not be on your side. The place you send them is definitely not on your side. It just makes too much sense. It all just makes too much sense. Can't help it. I mean, I do kind of, I'm naming America and Israel, and I do that with some hesitation. Okay, I mean, rose-colored classist. I talk about Jeffrey Epstein all the time. I say his name over and over and over again in some sort of weird occult incantation, and it scares me. But, the idea of who Jeffrey is, I mean, that's the more important thing. This idea that he's like an archetype that needs to be adopted into our social lexicon. I mean, one of the qualities of the Jeffrey Epstein archetype that I say is run in America, that is run in Israel, it's that, they're in power right now. That's actually one of the main things. They're always in power. So you assume some sort of, fucked up secret thing is happening. I mean, it's obvious. Of course it is. If you're in power right now, I'm serious. I mean this. You knew Jeffrey Epstein. Don't lie. Don't lie about it. If you are in charge of anything of any value at the moment, you knew Jeffrey in some kind of way. Don't lie. It's been less than 10 years. Everybody knew him. Okay. And I guess my point is that, you blame America, you blame Israel, but it's sort of this bigger thing that they're doing, right? Professor Zhang, he calls it transnational capital. Yeah, Professor Zhang. Who are these Jeffrey Epstein people? Professor, answer. Where are you? Can I get on your Substack Live? What are you doing? Are you eating breakfast right now? What are you eating? Moroccan Cocoa Puffs? This podcast is pretty dumb. No, but hey, back on to the serious topic. It's transnational capital. It's the Asian guy speaking more about it.
No, you're absolutely right. So you asked the question, like, who's actually controlling this? And the answer is these families. Okay, these families have been around for generations. These families coordinate through secret societies. Okay, and what they know is eventually you're going to exhaust the nation state. Eventually, the people are going to rise up and rebel against you because they're just exhausted by empire. This is exactly what's happening in America today. And so you need to find a new host, and the new host will be Israel. And so we're seeing a gradual shift of power from the United States to Israel. And the most clear evidence of this is something called the NDAA, okay, where Congress will pass an amendment to the NDNA, which allows the Israeli and the American militaries to merge together. And this is basically a way for CENTCOM to be transferred over to Israel. Okay? All right. JD, could you unmute yourself and ask your question or make a comment?
Yes. So I just have a similar question to Henry, but I just want to understand the current state of transnational capital. So like the people and institutions that make up transnational capital, they don't all think alike or coordinate directly. Like they have obviously different leadership incentives or strategies. So how do their interests end up converging? Like, is it because of the structure of the global capitalist system, or is there a greater degree of conscious coordination? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Brilliant question, okay? So the first thing to remember is transnational capital is huge. So you're talking about basically the pension funds of Japan, Germany, the sovereign wealth funds of the of the Gulf states, okay? You're talking about like these private hedge funds. You're talking about like institutional investors like BlackRock, Blackstone, State Street, Vanguard, okay? But according to game theory, certain people will win out. And the main mechanism of winning is to secretly coordinate together, to cheat, okay? That's a secret. If you're able to secretly coordinate with other investment funds to cheat the market, basically to control the market and to control government policy, to basically co-opt governments, then you'll win out. If you're not able to do this, then you'll lose out, okay? So you're right in that there's competition among different aspects of transnational capital, but those institutions or individuals who are able to secretly coordinate together to cheat, to collude, to conspire will always win out, okay?
Professor Zhang telling us the truth. Again, I mean, if you think my production is bad, let's just look at the world. look at the world. Gosh, this guy doesn't even have his own face up there. Same Word document? Some stranger in your Substack Live? Come on. I mean, millions of views. Millions of views this guy gets. What am I doing? What's going on here? I don't get it. He's actually good at his job. Anyway, yeah, I guess the important thing just to go over, if I didn't say it clearly, because, I didn't think I did, it's that the worst interpretation is that the immigrants going across into this amazingly important port inside of one of the main waterways left operating is that they're, funded by our malicious Jeffrey Epstein-like, government. That's the worst interpretation. And I can't see any other one. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Who wants to go there? I mean, I guess it's a nice coastal town. But it's like Morocco. Morocco wants it because it's good for Morocco. It's right there. It makes no sense. Why is it owned by Spain? Anyway, it's because of the Spanish Empire. And now the American Empire. And now maybe the Israeli Empire? Think about it. Empire to empire. Transnational capital. Hop, skip, and jump. What is going on with these people? What kind of things are they really up to? Makes you really wonder. Because, you want to blame the nation state, but it's like, they keep fucking hopping. Look at it historically. It's individual families with their individual ideologies colluding. Maybe they get all their ideas from Satan. That's a good angle. When I don't understand something, just blame it on Satan. Works for my mom. Why not me? Right on. I mean, just trying to understand like this fucking like legendary pizza party. It's a tough game. It's tough to try and figure out what the fuck is going on with these people. They lie to you all the time. Maybe you don't even know who they are. It's tough. And I'm like, I try and get inside their heads. And I'll be honest, it's a fucked up place. A lot of family problems. I mean, I talk about my mom, but I'm sure they have their own problems. It's horrible. You look at the sheer number of horrible things that the people in charge have been doing for like, millennia. And I don't know. You look at all of it, and I'm kind of warming up to the worst ones of them. I mean, right? I'm like, what's the worst thing going on right now? It's the genocide in Gaza. And, I look at that event compared to all the other events that these guys seem to have, been in charge of the whole time. And I go, maybe it's all marginal. I look at the totality of like the crimes, the weird occult religion, and even just the fact of, understanding that, the horrible things that happen in the world aren't because of some, even like king or individual person or, God forbid, a democratically elected government. It's done by the evil secret society. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of developing a fucked up perspective about what's all going on. It's all pretty bad, and I go, right. I mean, we have these like brutal questions about the horrible things that have been happening in the world, and it's like, how did we all let this happen? How did we let genocide after genocide happen? I mean, the shame a lot of us probably should feel. I mean, we really couldn't wrangle the government into, stop funding some place killing a lot of people for probably not that good of a reason. I mean, worse to say, it's not even, it's this thing I've been saying, it's the whole world's fault. I mean, France, England, Australia, New Zealand, all of those places, there are people in power who do the bidding of this horrible secret society stuff we're talking about. I mean, look at England. Look at Germany. They all got the Spain treatment. Spain got the Spain treatment. It's been happening over and over and over again. I mean, you look at the conditions they're creating, and it's like, if I was murdered, it seems almost equivalent. I mean, sure, you send 45,000 immigrants into my small town, but, at least I'm not on Jeffrey Epstein's island. At least I'm not on his ranch. At least they're not doing COVID over again. God forbid whatever's going on with the aliens. I mean, seriously, you take fucking something like, I mean, everything they do is so terrible. I mean, what ring of hell do you want these things to be on? Everything is so bad. It's like, I guess in a way I could say I'm being numb to it, but, it's all getting a little relative, which is another problematic word. I mean, part of me, I watched the video where, the IDF soldier, he kills the Palestinian people trying to fight back. And I think to myself, well, at least they're not being kidnapped, molested, and sacrificed on a rock to Moloch. It's probably better than that. probably better than being sacrificed on a rock to Moloch. You get sacrificed to Moloch in Morocco. Molokro. What am I doing? Obviously, they're still kidnapping and, sacrificing them to the owl god. Everybody knows that. I'm pretty sure they bombed the pentagram into Gaza. I'm pretty sure they did that. I'm sure all those immigrants in Morocco are standing in a weird fucking triangle right now. I don't know. Everything just seems part and parcel. Part and fucking parcel. The banality of evil, as they say, right? Or at least Tucker said that recently on his little fucking speech about Fauci, which I'll get into. But I don't know, man. It is all getting a little boring, which is the worst thing. Which is like the worst thing. It's just like bad thing after bad thing. I'm fucking bored, right? I mean, honestly, like fucking right now in my life, $7 gas. Would I rather be genocided? I don't know. Feels kind of equivalent, personally. Every time I pay for gas right now, I feel like I'm being ethnically cleansed. Okay. I've bombed a lot of stand-up sets recently. I think that's obvious. My confidence is at a low. Now, for someone whose confidence also might be at a low, it's time for one of these transnational elites, Mr. Anthony Fauci. Yes, the throwback to when Italian gangs ruled America. Yeah, when the Italians ran it, not Jewish or Mormon gangs, but the Italians. Not the hick evangelical gangs and bandits, but the cool, suave Italians. Now that's the America everybody remembers and loves, right? When the Italian mob controlled every fucking inch of every fucking city. And then now what we have? What? The cops took over? Lame. The Mormons bribed all the cops? Lame. Right on. Anyway, so Dr. Fauci, we're gonna look at him. I'm gonna play Julian Dory. Maybe I've already done it, but this guy, he's on a run. He's going for it. Nice to see a good kid win. Really. So he'll play his opinion. He'll probably express himself better than I personally could.
But the thing about Anthony Fauci, that from the very beginning, this was a guy, like, you could ask my mom about this. This was a dude that I was cringed out by the end of March 2020. The thing about him is this fucking guy loves the spotlight. He loved being a celebrity. He, with some of the information we were able to get from his emails and his fucking diary, I don't even know what's going on there. Like, he apparently had a diary and they got access to that. Like, he was constantly pushing for awards and stuff. He loved being on, the Colbert Report or whatever the fuck it was called on CBS and telling everyone to stay inside and stay away from each other. And, it's a real indictment on him as a person, the excitement and attention grabbing that he would do while people were losing their lives out there, literally. Like I mean that not just like there were people dying, but there were also a lot of people dying because their whole life had been taken away from them, their businesses, their jobs. You know, how many people got addicted to things because they lost everything in their life because they were forced to fucking stay home forever and not socially interact with people? How much did every generation, but particularly the younger generations, lose in human interaction during that time period when they couldn't fucking go to school and be around other people? We are going to see the reverberating effects of that for decades to come. We've already seen some, but like that is going to be, for all the wrong reasons, a very interesting psychological human experiment on, you know.
It's also an indictment on Italians holding power.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like every time we get a taste of it,
not a good look.
We run one. Cuomo, Fauci.
Listen, we don't claim these guys, though.
I know, but hey.
It's not great.
It's not
great.
It's not good.
You need to stay home. Stop the spread.
You blew it, dude. Blew it.
Fucking Fauci.
You'll love to see an Italian kid succeed. Is that the only reason he's popular? It's an interesting. Americans like Italian energy, whatever that Americanized Italian thing that the Sopranos built brick by brick. I mean, I guess The Godfather too, but they're not that real fucking, not that Jersey Shore shit. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill, his personal diary revealed. Absolutely hilarious. He wrote it on a government server. A congressman who I guess gained a little respect. They climbed an inch up a very, very tall mountain with me. He stated that Fauci saw no difference between himself and the government. And that's tough to hear because personally, everything that happened because of COVID ruined my life. It's hard for me to deal with the pandemic because everything in my life got ruined. I mean, some days I feel impassioned about it. Lately, though, I mean, with every horrible, horrible thing that's been going on, I guess that was my point earlier. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see fucking this mobster, get reamed, go so hard on the fifth, right? But, I just start thinking about my own life, and that hurts. I look at Fauci plead the fifth on Capitol Hill, and I just think about my own life, and it hurts. Yeah, man. Fuck. Do I have to explain it? I'll explain it. Yeah, I was living in my car, working as a janitor in 2019. I've been doing it for a while. Some things happened. Comedy was good. I finished, filming a movie. I managed to save $10,000 of my own janitor dollars and fucking film a movie. And I wish I had a normal time editing that. But nope, the world got pandemic fucked. They ruined my potential career. Look at the numbers. It's over. It's already over. My career's over. Okay, it was so bad back then. I moved to Mexico. All right, my grandfather retired there. He actually lived there my whole life. It was kind of nice, actually. It was not a big deal that my grandfather retired to Mexico before 2019. All right, it wasn't. Okay, so I moved there. I take care of him. He's an old guy. He lets me live for free. It was nice. Again, it was nice. I learned a lot of Spanish. Okay, yeah, and I had to quit working as a janitor. Some time passed. I start working as a janitor again. Okay, start doing a little bit of stand-up, a little bit. A couple cool guys. They opened up a comedy club. I worked there for a while. Wish I could have, done more for them, but I was dealing with a lot. Living in Mexico, working as a janitor. All right. And then my grandfather and sister, they get the vaccine in 2023, and then my grandfather dies the next day. I meet my ex-girlfriend. My sister dies 10 days later after that. And yeah. My sister had a long illness. She was actually sick before. It was actually like a huge issue. She lost her kidneys in like 2005 or something like that. I try not to remember. I do remember. That's the problem. And yeah, my grandfather also very old and sick. I mean, they took the vaccine and they died in like less than 2 weeks. And maybe I'd have a legal case, but I can't sue because of the law Congress passed that I can't sue the pharma vaccine manufacturers. So, right. Okay, hold on. Gonna cry. Fucking Christ. Okay, different glasses. That'll be fine. Right. I mean, they got the vaccine. I guess I told them not to. I got jabbed up twice. Couldn't stop them. I mean, you know, they're their own people. They had their own thoughts. I could never change anything that they decided to do. I mean, the only reason they even got it is because my sister needed an organ transplant, and the doctors wouldn't, you know, do the surgery if she didn't fucking have it. She had to get it as part of her approval process. I mean, she was on the list, but, you know, you're not going to move forward if you don't, you know, check all the fucking boxes. Yeah. And then for my grandfather, I mean, he wanted it a lot. Really wanted it. I mean, he needed it. We needed him to have it. We actually were applying for some state money from HHS to be caretakers. You know, we live in California, don't we? He was a citizen. He worked in California forever, paid a lot of taxes. Don't fuck with me. It's crazy. Yeah. And that was my pandemic. How was yours? Yeah, 2023, it all ended. I got a DUI in that time, too. Did I say that? Right. Did I mention that I was living in my car and in Mexico? I was an essential worker, janitor. I was fucking doing stand-up in people's backyards. Yeah, I had shows broken up by the cops here in California. It's true. One time we had a helicopter. There's actually some lore. I think someone made a documentary. That Fry's parking lot was originally my idea. I had been sleeping in my car in Burbank for a while, and we did some shows in that old Fry's parking lot. If you know, you know. Anyway. Right. Hard to talk about that pandemic for me. Really is. But it is, you know, you look at his testimony, and I guess there is something I do want to talk about. It's like that Fifth Amendment that he reiterated so many times. 111? 112? Whatever the occult wanted the number to be. Transnational capital. Where's Fauci's money? Where is it? We all know he has more money. Where the fuck is it? I don't know. I guess that's why he pled the Fifth. Couldn't talk about it. I do want to defend the Fifth Amendment. I mean, it looks so fucking stupid right here, but I do want to defend it. I mean, it's not... I don't think he's using it how he's supposed to use it, really. I mean, how it's supposed to work. Like, for example, like, if you were on trial for murdering your wife, okay, and then what you do is you provide an alibi, like, you know, I couldn't have killed her, I was at the bar, right? That's your alibi. Now, if someone decides to question your alibi, you know, ask something like, why did you go to the bar? And if the reason you went to the bar is because you hate your bitch wife, well, then you don't have to say that. You wouldn't say that because it's incriminating. You don't need your reasoning. He was at the bar. These are the people who saw him. This is his proof for being at the bar. Don't ask him why. He was there because he hates her. So, but that's what the Fifth Amendment's supposed to be like. It's like about certain things that would, you know, show you in a bad light that you don't have to admit. Right? Like, it's just the idea that no one can make you confess. No one can make you confess you did a crime. That's the core of the Fifth Amendment. All right? And it does turn out to be pretty convenient when you actually did commit crimes. That is the bad side. I mean, it is all for the best, okay? Because the point of our justice system is to spare innocent people. I listen to Tucker Carlson. What about you? Right on. But yeah, you see how the Fifth Amendment, it can look pretty fucking silly. It can look pretty dumb. I mean, the way he's using it, it's just not, I don't think that's right. I mean, it's weird. It's weird to take the Fifth Amendment in front of Congress because really they're just like an investigative body. They'll just suggest the DOJ to, you know, investigate them. You know, the only thing Congress can put people in jail for is contempt, which is even weirder because isn't I mean, in a way, you think he is committing contempt because Fauci has a federal pardon. How could he say anything that would incriminate him, even? I don't get it. I mean, the Congress of the federal investigators, is he worried about some kind of state crime? That'd be interesting. And you want something to happen, but at the end of the day, really, it's just, the corrupt Trump administration with all their fucking, glad-handing representatives. We're just doing that. We're just doing the thing. They're doing the political theater, that fucking classic red, blue, left, right, push, pull. They're fucking doing another classic pizza party attempt to get ourselves to divide us. I mean, that's what COVID was all about anyway. Put more of Fauci. I mean, yeah, he belongs in jail. A lot more than him belong there, too. Yeah, he belongs in jail. A lot more people than him need to go as well. What the fuck? I mean, this is whatever is happening in Congress. I mean, what? The criminal asks the question. The other criminal doesn't say. Doesn't answer. Okay. Whatever. I mean, yeah, maybe Congress recommends him for a criminal prostitution. Did I say that right? A criminal prosecution. But look at Trump. What does Trump do? He's still on his fucking side. Goddamn, the rib. Can't even handle it. I'm barely even conscious right now. It's 10:30 on Sunday. Not even coherent. I'm on the edge. This is one of my worst podcast performances ever. You have no idea what's going on in my life. Right on. So much going wrong. You wonder about possible solutions, right? I mean, isn't that what we really need to do? Postulate possible solutions. Naming out the stuff. That's fun. I can write some jokes, sure, but what's more? What else is more? What could be more? Am I inspiring anybody? I've spoken about it before. I got a good plan. I've prayed about it, even. Yeah, I've been a comedian since I was 18. I worked as a janitor for a long time. I'm currently working as a process server, if you've seen Pineapple Express. And I have a plan. I have an ideology, even. And it has a catchy name. I've told you. Everybody knows it. It's called Libertarian Fascism. How do you solve transnational capital? How do you solve 45,000 immigrants invading your city? Well. Libertarian fascism. Here's what it is. It's the idea that we have these insane behemoth fascist institutions, and you can't just get rid of them. I mean, actually, we have the power to stop all these horrible things that are always happening. We have the power to do it. We have the stuff to do it. That's not how it's being used right now, but it exists, right? And even, technology in general, I mean, kind of just the way it's progressed are inherently totalitarian. And we can't just drop it tomorrow. So, what I believe in, and maybe one day you, is taking control of these fascist institutions and turn them around and try and use them to accomplish the goals of small business, local defense, and sound, safe financial markets. That's the platform. You hear it? We take these institutions, knowing they're fascist, knowing they're evil. They're evil. We know it. And hopefully, through a basic, likely new electoral process, with some real understanding about how power actually fucking works, what we do is we get people to start their own businesses, learn to defend themselves, and, maybe do our best to have a fair market where commodities and property actually have legitimate value. A market that maybe isn't some insane speculative nightmare. Libertarian fascism, this is what it is. We plant everything on the idea that, to even take the positions that I just took, or even suggest change at all, what it does is invite threats against my life, and probably your life. You want to believe what I believe? You're going to be in a lot of danger. I mean, this is the truth. This is the game theory that we're always fucking yapping about. Libertarian fascists, this is what we got to do it. We got to clearly state that the game we've been playing with this whole fucking, democracy front you know, really what it is a story about how institutions murder their opponents in ever creative ways. You know, the secrecy. You know, if we have to have secrecy, we got to at least tell everybody. You know, the whole point is to understand that the state is, you know, not there to protect you. People are not there to protect you. No one can ever really protect you. No one can ever fix all your problems. Take care of, you know, everybody all at once. It's not possible. Truthfully, you know, the only person that can ever protect you is you. All right? The person to count on for your financial future is yourself. You know, yourself and, I guess, your personal relationship with God. You know, your very own, practically omnipotent, interdimensional, ancient alien space god. You know, whatever you commune with, it's you and their job. You gotta solve your own problems with whatever spectral, you know, space lava help you want. There's no one here on Earth that you'll ever really be able to count on, at least not forever. Libertarian fascism, right? Yeah. So with that in mind, what we got to do is we got to go into the institutions and confront these classic totalitarian elements. We got to have a conversation, maybe, convince them, ask, are you going to murder me? I mean, that's the problem. I mean, you know, the only thing that I would ever even consider being fascist for is to try and, you know, have everybody not be murderers and maybe also eat pizza. You know what I mean? Whatever that means, I guess. But you know what I mean. Whatever I mean. I don't know. You know, but more self-defense talk. Okay? I understand. You know, the world's dangerous. Maybe you won't always have the capacity to defend yourself, but think about it. Maybe the libertarian fascists are a real group of people, and perhaps you can pay us to try and fix the situation. Of course, not permanently. I mean, the whole ethos is, you know, for you to be empowered. I mean, look, you know, you look at the society we have now, maybe if you were allowed to defend yourself at all times, the world would be a little different. Yeah, I'm pro-gun rights. In California. Tough position, isn't it, Spencer Pratt? Anyway, I mean, look, we have all these military assets in police departments for, you know, foreign defense, and I genuinely believe we could organize, create effective teams with local power. All right, good, nice, never naive people. They're out there. All right, we have those people. They just keep getting stopped by fucking jerky John motherfuckers. I mean, this is it. You know, the libertarian fascist, if we ever, and when I say we, I currently mean I, but also you if you want. I have a clipboard. We can look at it later. Yeah, if someone with my ideology ever gets into the government and gets in control of the assets and tools that I'm talking about, you know, like the police, the courts, what we'll do is we'll take a libertarian attitude, all right, and rebuild these things to make them function like legitimate business, like an actual business that provides a service that maybe if they don't provide adequately, they don't get paid. I mean, we have all these organizations as they are. You know, I don't think we need to change them drastically. I mean, the only thing we need to change drastically is their budget. You know, that'll change someone's attitude real quickly. Make them start hustling, no cheating. It'll make sense. Okay? Because, you know, sure, right now we all pay taxes. And what we do is we stop doing that. We stop doing that and you keep money. You keep the money. And let's be honest, if you want a problem fixed, maybe you should fix it yourself. Maybe there's an organization that is competing in the market that can help you fix it. Perhaps your neighbors, your local businesses, perhaps you could pool your money and not, you know, I mean, that's what we do with taxes, but come on. You know, we're not getting a better service paying some slut-fuck corporation. Taxes don't work. Private pools of capital do. Did we just talk about that? If you haven't fucking noticed, okay. Yeah, and when it comes to things like the cops, fire department, fucking, you know, garbage cleanup, biological hazardous waste, you know, I really believe that if we keep all our property rights, these things could function swimmingly. We could have it local. We could all talk to each other for once, finally. I mean, gosh, you guys, you know, right now, I mean, we changed the system. If you have a business that you think, you know, can't stop, not even for a second, you know, some fridge is real important, maybe let everybody know. Gosh, it's a big country. Maybe someone's out there. Maybe someone is out there to help you. They're Chinese? Okay. Look, it's so obvious, guys. You know, if we're going to say corporations are people, why can't people be corporations? You know? This is a libertarian fascist idea. What's stopping you from forming your own business with your neighbors? Okay? What's stopping you? You know, I really believe people could easily work together if they just have a basic framework. All right? I mean, this could work if people are renting from landlords even. We don't have to get rid of landlords. DSA, we really don't. I mean, maybe if the renters formed a financial coalition, everything could actually work better. More often, when they do, it does. Sure. I mean, when you have the government involved, what ends up happening is, you know, they end up blaming the landlord, taking his money, giving it to the renters. You know, like as if he would care because his whole fucking wealth is in the real estate stock anyway. His money just inflates past whatever he just paid the family of four with the mold poisoning. He doesn't care. This is the fiat currency debacle. Of course, to really enact any, you know, vision that I'm having with the elimination of taxes and, you know, the localization of, you know, private pools of capital. Of course, you need to fix the Fed. Yeah, the Fed. Yeah, maybe all of this problem is the Fed. Is Israel going to have its own central bank? Maybe it already does. I don't know. We got to figure out how to live with fucking real money, man. We really got to do it. That's the battle to have. Maybe this is what it's always been about the money, the currency. Gosh, it's so gigantic you don't know what to do with it. I mean, you know, we have all these properties with value and everyone's invested with their 401ks and their Roth IRAs. Difficult to unwind. Difficult. I mean, at minimum, we probably have to litigate, right? Libertarian Fascist. Yeah, we're going to slowly change the market. Limit the pain. Maybe we've heard that one before. But with us, at least, you know, I would imagine that, sure, we have winners and stockholders, but a lot of them are probably going to have to go to jail for all that chomo shit. Libertarian Fascist. We talk about Epstein a lot. That is probably most of the marketing. Anyway. And speaking of market, Libertarian Fascists, we do believe in a market. I mean, markets exist whether you believe it or not. Read a fucking book. Well, what I don't believe in, what the platform doesn't believe in, is speculative trading. What are we doing gambling with our economy? Why is gambling even legal? As it is. Sports betting makes no sense. Make card gambling legal. Everyone loves poker. Blackjack. Come on. Blackjack, you can win. I mean, come on, guys. Libertarian Fascists. We already have all the assets. You have to be fascist. All right. I mean, what's going to happen to a country where you abolish fiat currency? What are you going to do? And yeah, when you abolish fiat currency, in effect, you fucking abolish the federal American government. We need a little bit of fascism to withstand that. All right. And personally, you know, we're already organized into cities, counties. I mean, maybe there's a world where we could run ourselves. And maybe, you know, if you're up in Portland or Seattle, you can do it like a socialist. Let us all compete as states, individuals. Yeah, instead of taxing us, maybe we could make the payments required to do the stuff we want. You know, like a school. Maybe a local school. What about that? I think people have the money to do it. Yeah, maybe some of them even start businesses. Huh? Get some real cash going. I mean, gosh, I think a lot of people now would love to grow a fucking nice vegetable. I think a lot of people would love to grow a vegetable and sell it to somebody. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have a conversation about that, but for some reason, our federal government, NGO, contracting, insane hedge fund, you know, they all own all the good land, and, you know, you're not even allowed to sell your own shit without it getting fucking permitted. There would be a wonderful discussion to have about that. I mean, yeah, what I'm suggesting gives us more responsibility, but also more control, which in the end gives us less responsibility. All right. I mean, we're not always forced to go and people please, you know, or worse, you know, pour money into a business that's already fucking failing. Like all of these pizza party programs that fucking keep popping up. All right. And yeah, again, just to avoid rampant murder, Libertarian Fascists, we do continually state our purpose. It's not to destroy. It's not to get rid of everything. It's not to ruin your life. All right. But what it is to take the assets we have and actually make them accessible to individuals. What the fuck is up with the monopoly? What the fuck is up with this federal government? I mean, we paid for the federal government. Is it not ours? Gosh, I mean, we have all these assets. And I really believe we could make real businesses off of them that actually fucking, don't scam anybody. A scamless economy. What about that? You probably have to be fascist to fucking make that happen. Yeah, everybody in the libertarian fascist government has to be smart enough not to be scammed. Okay, sorry, that's a requirement. You got to be smart enough not to be scammed. We do it in the testing. Mandatory education, re-education camps, how not to be scammed. This is it. We're just give people books about how all the scams people run. I mean, this is the question of real life. Who are the malicious people? Who are the people that are not willing to do the work themselves? I mean, most of us, we're fucking normal people. Normal people who want dignity. We want a nice life. We don't want to owe anybody anything at all. Most of us are like that. And then, they have these groups of people who want to steal, or have us casually hand everything we work for over. Yeah, and do we even have an ideology to, address that? It's libertarian fascism. And I even think that these bad people can adopt this ideology that I'm fucking putting out. Because a normal person, they need what I'm talking about the most. All right, they need the self-empowerment to start their own commerce. All right, feel empowered enough to actually defend themselves. Make them feel smart enough to avoid danger. Give people the things they need to succeed. But, as for these malicious parasites that I'm mentioning, well, if you think about it, if they're forced to perform, their own business, they'll have to operate in the market. And if it's not, some faulty thing, perhaps they'll be able to tread that fine line. And if they don't, hopefully they'll be adequately punished. Fascism. Which now brings me to immigration, right? Where, where all these fine ideas finally fucking get the real test. You start mentioning immigrants, and all of a sudden all of a sudden those values you just mentioned really fucking get shook. But in the world I'm suggesting, each town has its own border. All right, the walls, they're high all around. Okay, I'm sort of asking for like an isolated fucking city-state situation. Foreign defense, I think we could handle it. All of us come together. I mean, Ron Paul says we only need a couple submarines. I believe that guy. All this control the waterway shit. I mean, if they're free, they're free. And if they're not, what does America care? I mean, this is the thing. I mean, in America, I believe that this, voluntary trade, free travel we have within the big nation, it's a huge asset. I really think, we could obviously do everything ourselves, really push to it. We don't need any section of the world at all. But there are ways you could organize your town where you can still defend yourself and have free trade. I believe that. I mean, technology is at a place. Come on. Maybe, perhaps, if you want to do business in the town, you automatically get checked in. Right? Surveillance state. We're probably still going to have that. Probably can't get rid of it. But if you had access to it at all times, that'd be interesting. Maybe you only had access to your local one. I mean, what's wrong with the Wild West? I guess that's a lot of the same rules I'm suggesting. What's wrong with the Wild West? What's wrong with the Wild West? It'd be like the Wild West, except with cell phones. Yeah, someone doesn't want you in their town? Maybe you could make a social media post about it. Challenge them to a duel. I mean, technology, I do believe. I mean, even if 45,000 people storm into your town, if you actually fucking, had your shit together, did the work you had to before, you probably could really prevent it. You probably really could. I mean, this is why these towns are set up by the, Jeffrey Epstein elite. They're just out in the open. The most important fucking city in the world. One of them, at least. Yeah, you can fucking get there by tube. Can take a little Nadar in El Mar. Come on. I mean, maybe libertarian fascism is only an American idea because, of course, I mean, we're genuinely the most wealthy country in the world. And I do believe that if we were allowed to use our resources as individuals and, didn't have to give half up to the fucking government every half a second, all right, we'd probably fucking, solve all our problems ourselves. We probably would solve all our problems ourselves, which is, quite a suggestion, including these insane topics. Biological warfare, nuclear warfare. I mean, gosh, the well-meaning experts, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're talking right now. Got their own fucking podcast. They'll be on Julian Dory soon enough. I mean, we have everything we need. We really do. We got all the things we need. And the only question is that, are the people in charge Jeffrey Epstein clones? All right, that's the pod. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment. Oh, gosh. Kyle, why were there so many cuts? That's a great comment. Anyway, all right. Love it. Live it. I think it's time to pray, right?